Good evening, everyone. Hi, everyone, and welcome to rounds 5 and 6 here for the Gavra Weekend League Tier 1 around the Austrian GP. The Styrian Mountains loom large in the background as the drivers take around this 2.683 miles circuit. That's 4.3 kilometers for those that use the kilometer metric. I'm Jack TM53 commentating on this Weekend League Tier 1, and I'm delighted to say that joining me once again this evening is my co-commentator Shortbread224. How are you doing today, mate?
Yeah, cheers, Jack. Great to be here. I'm excited for this one. Should be really intriguing. I'm seeing Money Game. I'm not sure what's going on in the pits there. Have you noticed that? Have you been over the pits? Money Game, Born Winner. Do you see that as well? They're like stuck in the pit lane. Is that just me?
No, it's not just you. I can see that we've got a few issues with the
What the
lobby.
hell?
D is stuck as well, as is Money Games. That's a bit of an awkward one. I don't know if they're going to have to retire from the session or leave the session, maybe, so that they can go back in. Maybe that would be the best approach. Shari's already retired, so I'm not sure what's gone on there.
I see. Yeah, they're all stuck behind him. I see a Red Bull, a Ferrari. There's, I think, 2 cars stuck behind Money Gamers as well. Oh, hello. Oh.
There we go.
Thank the Lord, we're going to have to restart the lobby. Alright, I get that.
That's good news. So we've got everybody back up to speed. So Gav, don't worry about it. Everything's okay. We could carry on now. As the drivers are out on circuit and setting lap times, we're already into the 1 minute freeze, which is a fabulous effort from Jolt in the Williams, our fastest session in Tier 1. We've just got a message come through from Race Control saying that Gavra is everyone for retire from the lobby, so maybe we are getting a restart. That is what's coming out. We've got a couple of drivers who are already out of the session. Both Ferraris are out, Born Winners out as well. I don't know if these drivers are going to see this message from Gav, to be honest. Oh, Ben Roberts has, so
Yeah,
maybe they're all getting the idea now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we've re-signed for. It seems everything's fine. Is it for those that already retired, like Born Winner, Shari, and
Yeah.
and all that? I'm not sure what it is for.
Well, whilst that's going on and whilst the drivers try and understand the point to actually pit and leave the session, and some of them now are doing, let's just run through the championship standings whilst we're here. And there's a lot riding on tonight, the halfway point of the season. There's quite a lot of drivers involved in this fight. Psycho leads the way on 65 points, with Ben Roberts in second on 62. Joss is third on 55, with X90G fourth on 45. Money Game is fifth on 41, and there's a bit of a gap back to Advantage. It's sixth on 32. That's the top 6 in the drivers. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes are on 106, with Haas just behind on 84. So the 2 Haas drivers are going to have to work together to close that gap down to the 2 Mercedes of Psycho and Money Game. Ferrari are third on 59, with McLaren fourth on 57. Red Bull are fifth on 39 points, and Aston Martin sixth on 32. And it seems like everyone has got the idea now. Everyone is retiring from the session, apart from Money Game, who doesn't seem to, well, he's just finished his lap off, so maybe he'll retire now. If he's got a bit of a brain, he'll get that lap in, get a bit of a sighter, which he's done and now left, which is quite clever, actually. So we are going to be restarting. A lot of people are now leaving the session, as well as ourselves. We'll get another invite ready from Gavra. Apologies for the technical issues. Of course, F1 23 has only been out for roughly a few weeks at this point, but there still seems to be a few technical glitches within the lobbies. So we need to try and work our way around those as best as we can and we will bring you some racing. However, doesn't always help when you go and receive an invite and the session doesn't exist. Ah, there we go. You still there, Shortbread?
Oh yes, I was watching Kev Pot. He's still driving around. I don't know, he's out on Discord, so I don't know how to tell him we've all left. Because he was still driving around, so hopefully he notices.
Maybe a PSN message might be the best way
Okay,
to
he
do.
told him.
But if you are just joining us, we are having some technical issues, unfortunately, but we'll hopefully get those resolved pretty swiftly. Nothing really from our end that we can do about it other than just trying to get the session restarted again, which around this Austrian circuit, it's a very short track. It's one of the shortest tracks, if not the shortest track on the F1 calendar. Roughly a 65, 66 second lap in the real world. We're going a little bit quicker in the game. We just saw 1:03 from Jolt before, but this is a circuit that will provide a lot of overtaking and potentially the option of some DRS trains. A lot of storylines that are coming into state of play really this evening in terms of who will be not only leading the championship, because Ben Roberts and Psycho and a number of others are also very close in that, but also the ever-changing situation in this championship where drivers are very, very quick one race and then less so in the other. We've got 2 more rounds at Spa-Francorchamps and Las Vegas to go, and I feel that this championship is wide open until that point.
Yeah, I'd definitely say so. It's not, the standard looking nice, 65 and 62, 55. Yeah, we got, say, 3 drivers really in the fight. Maybe then you can add X90G and Money Game to that as well. Yeah, we got really close here. I'm excited for a good 3 races, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely the top 5 all involved in the championship standings now and championship fight, but it will come down to who makes the biggest amount of progress this evening and who can have a decent setup. Now, good news, everyone, is we have got the lobby restarted. Let's hope that everybody can get out of the pits. That's going to be we've got everyone in. That's a good start. We now need the second phase of getting everyone out of the pits, and naturally everyone will have to reload their setups again. And the third drama, Shortbread, is that we might have different weather conditions.
Yeah, that's true. You have to reset and lobby. I imagine if they looked and then said it was dry, I imagine Gavra will make sure that they change the setting so it's going to be dry. But if he doesn't know it's true, it could be full wet, it could be intermediate. We don't know, that's something you've got to think about. But I think he did say in the chat we should be fine, so I imagine it'll be full dry for qualifying and the race.
That's good news. You want to see as many drivers out on the circuit as possible. Just the session is about to start. And there we go. It has now done so. Dino is in the lobby as well, so he'll get himself back in. But Shortbread, this track, Austria, 10 corners, not a challenging circuit in a traditional sense. What would you say are the key areas of this track you've got to get right so that you get near the front for qualifying?
I'd say turn 1 and turn 3 pretty much is turn 2, but it's turn 3 for some reason. I'd say the first 2 corners, those are really challenging, the slowest speed corners, the whole track, and then sector 2 and sector 3, it's all just high speed corners really. You haven't got much time to gain there. If you can do well in turn 1, turn 2, good exit, get on the accelerator as quick as you can, then I think that's where most of the time will be. I reckon whoever gets pole will get most out of those first 2 corners, and then just keep it going to the last high-speed corners, and you're all right. I think it's just that first sector is crucial, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. There could be a lot of time made up in the braking zones for turns 1 and 3. We have now got drivers coming out on circuit, so good news. We haven't seen any issues yet, although having said that, on the tyre indicator it says X90G is on the intermediates. He's still in the pits, so hopefully he doesn't go out on the green wall tyres because it's currently sunny blue skies, and I don't think that's the fastest tyre around here.
I pinged Gavra, but I don't think do you think you can invite me to the lobby? I don't think Gavra's seen. He hasn't invited me.
Who is
Are you
that?
able to? I'm not sure if you can. I haven't got an invite yet.
You haven't got an invite?
Yeah, I messaged Gavra, but I don't think he's seen. I haven't got an invite yet for this one.
That is not handy.
I should be able to just spectate, shouldn't I? If I join, I should be alright.
You should be able to spectate from there. Gav, if you're watching and listening, Shortbread needs an invite. I need my co-commentator in the box with me. Currently, he's in the stands.
Yeah, I know.
He's doing it now, actually. I could see it on the stream. But we've got a couple of drivers out on their flying laps. So good news. Doesn't look like anyone's stuck in the pits, which is great news, to be honest. And X90G is on the intermediates. Unless he's doing something that we're not aware of, Shortbread, why would a driver decide to go on the intermediates on a dry track?
Yeah, I've seen people doing that before. I don't really understand it. I've seen streamers stuff doing their first run. All I can it's bone dry. I never really understood why people do that. I mean, I imagine just do one lap and then come in to do 2 laps on the softs. But yeah, I never really understood why people do that. I have no idea. Maybe it was just for a bit of fun. I'm not sure.
Maybe so. So we're going to go and watch how everyone's doing on the track. I'm glad that we've got everyone in by the looks of it. We're on board with Money Game, who's coming into turn 10 as our Peter, then beaten by advantage for provisional pole. Money Game sets a 104.8 on the medium tyres, so expect a lot more from him. And Ben Roberts, who's third, also on the medium compound of tyre. Oh, Jolt just goes and does a 1:08, but we know he can go a lot quicker than that. And Shari, fortunately, has rejoined. Shari got 2 point scoring finishes last week in Qatar with a 10th and a 9th. Hopefully he can do a little bit better again today.
I'm interested by so many on mediums. See 2 or 4 on mediums. 2 have set up, 2 haven't yet. But I never really understood is when I did qualifying, I always just use soft tyres. I remember if you choose the right tyre allocation, you could get 4 softs. You have 3 for qualifying, then you can save 1 for the race. I never really understood using mediums. I mean, get warmed up to the track, but I feel like using 3 softs is always better because then you're never going to obviously set a good lap with mediums, and then you're going to use those mediums that you could have used in the race. I'm still not 100% sure why drivers do that, but I guess if they want to, that's fine. I guess they still have 2 runs later for soft, so it's not too bad.
I think some people, and speaking from experience, I know that some people get quite a psychological boost when they're driving. They see that they're up on their laps when they go from medium to soft. Maybe they think they can go even quicker as a result. Maybe that's the logic behind it, but we'll have a chat with the drivers later and see what they say. But Bourne winner on pole at the moment by what is little as 0.003 of a second. We did see Jolt in the 1-minute freeze, and we've already surpassed the the tier 2 log quali time from earlier this evening. It's 1 minute 4.2 as well, but we're lower than that now.
Right, already first run quicker, yeah, that's quite big. I think we can get to the 3s, I imagine, 1-minute 3s when we come to final 5 minutes, something like that. I think we'll get to the 3s, that's great to see. But I like that 3,000 between first and second. I imagine it will close up even more. Then you see third, fourth, fifth. How close is that? All within that 4 attempts, like half attempt, something like that. And then, yeah, it's looking really close right now. I'm excited to see how close it gets at the end. Wow.
I think the 1 lap time, we're following Joss at the moment on the stream. You can watch, he's approaching turn 4, but I think the driver we're going to have to watch is Watts F293 back in for this week. He missed last round in Qatar in the Williams, and that's a scintillating lap on the mediums. Only 2 tenths off the overall fastest qualifying lap. Now, Joss is purple in this second sector, comes swinging out of turn 8 quite nicely. 2 corners to go. See how he approaches turn 9, nice and committed through there, using all of the road and a bit of a apex, and cuts it nicely at turn 10. This is a good lap from Joss, but it isn't anywhere near the front row.
I'm surprised to see only P8 when he got purple sector 2 and 3. So I know he missed sector 1. He must have maybe made a big mistake, something like that, and turn 2. So I'm not sure, but I'm surprised he didn't get further up there. But I guess that's exciting. G goes first, 104.1. Wow. Okay, this is. I can't believe how close it is. between everyone already. We've still got 11 minutes left. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of time to go. Yeah, as you rightly point out, shortbread. But the two McLarens, P1 and 2, we've heard that one before this season as well. And looking at everybody else, the thing is, you've mentioned this a few times now, shortbread. Look how close it is between first and 11th. It's 6/10 of a second. Like I was saying, that Joss is nowhere near. He's only 4/10 off pole, and yet he's on the 5th row of the grid.
Yeah, I can't believe that. That's great to see. And then what you said earlier about Watts as well. You see on your screen now it's a softs, but his lap was on the mediums. That was a 104.4, only 3/10 off pole on mediums. And mediums will lose about at least half a second a lap. So I think when he does a soft lap, he'll definitely be up there. That's a great lap from mediums. I have no idea what the delta is between soft and mediums here for one lap, but I imagine it would be at least half a second. That's a short lap. You've got to watch out for him. He could be a really good positioner.
Yeah, someone was saying in the Delta it's somewhere between 4 to 8/10. It just depends how much you get out of them. We're following the second Ferrari on track. That's Shari, who hasn't yet set a lap time, but he'll be buoyed by his pace. In fact, I think he's coming into the pits. Yeah, he's abandoned that lap, so no lap time for him. J&B Surreal just coming around the penultimate corner. But for Gav, hopefully you're listening, can you cut over to Billy Misu? He's 17th and last at the moment. I want to get Shortbread to do as a lap of what Billy Misu on circuit. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully Shortbread, you're with him as well, and we'll see a lap as Jolt goes fastest.
Yeah, it's nice up here. Hopefully he should be starting a lap. He's got fully RS. Looks like he's setting it up. Should pin it right on the exit here. Yeah, nice. Looks like he's going for it. DRS open. 7th gear, 8th gear, all the way up the gears. Then turn 1. This is very important. You've got to touch that yellow curb on the inside. Nice. Just tight on the exit. Then you ride that curb. DRS open. 7th gear. Yeah, Mercedes didn't get in the way. That's all right. Then coming into turn 3 is really turn 2, but it's fine. Then this is really important. It's a tight corner, traction heavy, long right hander. Get on the power, watch the curve on the exit. DRS open for the 3rd time this lap already. Such a short track. And they got a nice long right hander. They got it set up nicely for the 2 turn left here. Nice. Then good stuff. Then on the 5th gear, 160, 170. This is really high speed now. Just a tap on the brake. Be careful on the accelerator. Can really easily lose it here. Got to extend the track as much as you can. Don't want to touch the curb on the inside. Can easily spin. Getting back on the exit. Got to extend the track as much as you can. Look at those white lines. That's where you want to be really. Last 2 corners now. 2 high speed. Pretty much very similar. Would nearly touch the yellow curb on the inside here. Ride the curb on the exit. DRS open the final time against the line. What can you do? P13.
P13 for Billy Misu, the man who finished 4th on track last week in Qatar, but 2 post-race penalties dropped him to a point with 10th. So he is in 13th and he's less than a second off pole, but you could see how far away he is at the moment on the 7th row of the grid. That gap is due to close a little bit more. J&B Surreal 14th, he went quicker than that in lobby tier 2 earlier this evening, and Kev did his time on the medium compound. So it's all the pressure's a little bit on Psycho because he's not yet set a lap. We've still got 8 minutes to go, but he needs to get on with this.
Yeah, I'm interested why he hasn't done that yet. Maybe there's a penny I don't know about, but maybe he's validated at some point. But yeah, he's got, I'd say, time to do 2 laps. He looks like he's about to do a lap now, I imagine. So he'll be able to do this lap. Then Jos first into the 3s, 3.9, just ahead of Joel. It's so close. I don't know how long ago it was we got qualifying this close. It's great to see, but there's a cycle. We're starting his lap now, and then he should be able to do 1 more afterwards at 7 minutes half time.
Yeah, he'll have plenty of time, will Psycho. So that Mercedes rear wing, the black rear wing, opens down this main straight into turn 1. Nice and committed from Psycho. Now, he has put a notional time on the board of a 1:10. Let's see whether this is going to be any quicker, though, in Sector 1. It should be, and he's 3/10 up. We don't know in relation to how quick that is just yet. We'll wait for the Sector 2 time to come round, but just looking for still his first race win in Tier 1, but that's a good effort to get into the 1-minute freeze.
Yeah, well, I want to keep an eye on Psycho here, championship leader, 16th right now. We haven't set a lap. Fresh softs, fastest you'll see him all weekend. So close. He just one small mistake can cost him 3 positions if that's how close the grid is. He's like purple sector 2. I'm not sure. Hopefully that's not glitched, because I know that's a glitch. Hopefully it is actually true. You see just 2 corners separate him now from potentially first. Where can he set? It's okay if he doesn't do amazingly now. He still has time to set 1 more lap, so he sort of just has to set a banker here, all close to invalidating, but perfectly right as P8. Interesting. Wow. Okay.
P8, but right with his title rival Ben Roberts. So those two well matched on circuit in their sort of early runs, shall we call it. Sharry, the only driver yet to set a lap. He's coming towards the final 2 corners now, and he will get his time on the board. It's not going to be top 10, I don't think, but it looks like a good effort, and it puts him 14th. Now the whole grid from 1st to 15th separated by a second. J&B Surreal and Kev Potter certainly can go quicker than what they've done. So I'm expecting this to be a real shootout. I'm not even going to ask you who you want to predict for pole, Shortbread, because I don't think it's possible.
I know exactly. I remember it says he's still on mediums. I'm not sure he's improved yet, but is he on a soft like that? He's on a soft like now. Okay, nice. So we'll see how he does. I reckon he'll jump up a few positions now in that advantage, fresh rubber, and then as well, Psycho. I feel like he could push more. Maybe he didn't push much that lap. Just like I said, set a banker, and then the final lap he just push as much as he can. I reckon there's more from Psycho as well. And Ben Roberts, isn't he second in the championship? And he's only in P7 as well. So. Yeah, we'll see how Watts does as well, and just see how he does.
Well, he's a 10th up in the first sector, but obviously where all these soft tyre gains are going to come from is from now, so turn 4. Hopefully Gavra will cut to the guy in 11th place as Watts swings through turn 6. Keeps the car nice and light through there, kept the turning quite, and he's 5/10ths up. This is on track for pole. Oh, he's invalidated as he comes round the turn 7.
Yeah, so easy to do.
Small wobble. He's got time to get back into the pits, but that is a kick in the teeth for Watts. And you feel he might just be a little bit more gentle on the next lap he does, because he won't want to invalidate again. But he just had a little slide, and that was it.
Yeah, that's punishing these corners, especially on strict corner cutting like we are on, and you just get a slight stumble over, so you have to quickly correct it, quickly flicker the wheel, and then you're over that white line. That's your lap gone. Easy as that, especially how close this grid is. Costly mistake, but you still have time for 1 more lap.
Really close to the grid. I'll tell you who is also on a flying lap. Joss, our pole position man, currently on a 1 minute 3.9. I expect a couple of more to get into that 1 minute 3 barrier. But he was maximum commitment through turn 3. He had the rears locked and had a really nice line through there. You see his sector 2 time he's down, so it's going to take a huge effort in the last 2 corners to pull 2/10ths back. And in fact, I think he's going to pit. Now, this is something to watch out for. Ooh, okay, no, that was just a bit of a weird lag spike. This is something to watch out for. The drivers have to stick to the right-hand side of the white pit entry box. If you go wide and go past it, you can't pit. Is a rule in F1. So if we do spot any drivers at Gavra doing that, we'll send that one to the stewards.
Yeah, then the weird pit entry here, you miss a whole corner. That's a whole different line. That's the risk. You have to sort of go on the inside of the second to final corner, and then sort of get in the way. Hopefully we won't see any of that happening, because you pretty much park it right on the apex. It is a weird pit entry here, so keep an eye on that as well when race.
Absolutely. We need to see the drivers now coming onto their laps. So let's see how they do. They've less than 3 minutes remaining in the session. This track circuit is going to get very, very busy. There will be a few yellow flags for drivers just getting out of the way, and that's just advantage. Going a little bit slowly more than anything else. We're following one of the Alpha Tauris on circuit, which is Divori. A man who's had a bit of rough form recently. He did struggle a bit in Qatar, did Divori, but we're hoping for better from him. In fact, he's back down to that lap, so he's going to have to really work his braking system to get that battery back, I think.
It is the best bit of qualifying now. Final 2 minutes, everyone absolutely pushing it. The track is at its best. All the rubbers on the track. Racing line's perfect. The track's green. This is exactly what you want to see. The fastest an F1 car can go. You won't see these guys going any quicker for the rest of this session. This absolutely pushing out, leaving nothing out there. All the white lines, all down to them now. Final 2 minutes. See what they can do.
Absolutely, they're all on their flying laps. X90G, one of the first of the top 5. Jolt's going quicker in the first sector, and Born Winner is not too far behind him as well. There's a yellow flag, that's just for a slow car. So we'll wait to see how the drivers do. X90G is improving again in the second sector, not by much, but it would get him past Money Game, who is on a flying lap now as the Mercedes. So X90G comes around this final corner. What is this lap time going to be from the McLaren? It gets him on the front row.
Wow, close. There's a lot of traffic in that final sector. Hopefully they're able to get themselves out. There's a Haas right there. Yeah, that's really close, but hopefully it should be fine. There's a lot of traffic there. He's on the final corner now. There's Mercedes coming up. It should be. Yeah, there you go. Watts. As we said, the fastest person to the 8s now, 103.8. Wow.
That is a great effort. Ben Roberts has seen it, but Born Winner goes even faster on a 1 minute 3.7. That is a fabulous effort. Jolt is going on to his, he's got one more lap. He's going to go for it again. He must have had a problem. Money Game just coming towards sector 2, but doesn't look like he's improving according to the Delta. Ben Roberts is done. He's not going to be any higher than 8th. The championship leader, Psycho, approaching turn 4. On the brakes, down into 3rd gear. I've definitely noticed Psycho using different gears to everyone else in the qualifying sessions so far. He's revving the limiter quite a bit. He's a bit wide out of turn 6. Oh, it's marginal. He's down, but I don't think Psycho, unless he pulls something out of the bag here, I don't think he's going to beat Ben Roberts for 8th, and that is going to be a challenging race for him.
Yeah, that's big to see Ben Roberts out. That's big to see if the... Oh, yeah, that's his lap over. Oh, wow. out of qualifying, spectacular manner there. Wow. Yeah, I don't think it's improving anyway, so it's okay, but that's quite big. The 2 championship leaders, 8th and 9th, behind several drivers. That's going to be great to watch.
Didn't improve. Money Game is on a lap. He is pushing, but he's got no ERS left. I don't think he's. I don't know where he is. No, he's still. Money Game's definitely on a lap, but he's going to have no ERS left for the final run to the flag. And I feel that
improvement, no ERS.
You can't imagine it, can you? Comes to the lot now, and he's done.
Yeah, that's everyone, isn't it? RP is invalidated as well. JMB in the pits, Kev Potter invalidated. Yeah, so that's qualifying then.
So it's pole position for the first time in Gavra for Born Winner 03. Looked quick earlier on. He was one of the drivers, I think he was on the medium tyres earlier. I could be wrong, actually. I don't think Born Winner was. But he looked very quick in the early sessions, but I don't think he could have called him getting pole. He snatched it away from Joss by less than 0.04 of a second. And Watts, the other driver in the 1 minute freeze, these top 3, I mean, everyone else behind, I mean, it's so close. If we have a look from first place, which is Born Winner, Devori is 13th, less than a second behind.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love qualifying like that. So close. One small mistake, tiny bit running ride, you understeer, over anything like that, losing 5 positions, something like that. It's great to see Born Winner up there for the first time as a rookie, I believe. So nice driving, and we'll see what he can do later on. So
the first Swede since Stefan Johansson to get pole position here in Formula One, if you want to look at it that way. Back in Stefan Johansson, they were driving a Ferrari. Yoss second, Watts third, X90G in 4th. Then the third row of the grid is Jolt and Money Game. 7th and 8th Advantage and Ben Roberts with Psycho in 9th place. The championship leader's got a bit of work to do. Dino rounds out the top 10, and Steps didn't get out for another lap, but he's 11th in the end. Arpita is 12th within 7/10 of pole. Devori, Shari are 13th and 14th with Billy Misu, and JMB Surreal and Kev Potter, I imagine, not getting the best of their laps at the end of that session.
Yeah, we want to watch now, especially off the start, see those. We've seen in the past they can get through, they might struggle. We've seen Ben Roberts came from last to first, didn't he? Just last race, I believe, in Qatar. So, and that was even probably a difficult track to overtake than here. The only problem is DRS train. I want to look out for that. I imagine there'll be surely a DRS train. How close that qualifying was, and 3 DRS zones at such a short circuit. I imagine we'll probably see a DRS train quite a lot. So, as I'm in a car, I'm in the Red Bull. What the?
So Short Red is going to be racing on track.
I mean, I just wanted him in the Red Bull. I guess I just retire.
You
Hopefully,
can,
let's make a safety car.
you can retire off the. If off
Yeah,
the,
I'll have to do
and
that.
you should be able to be okay from the bit of a peculiar one, ladies and gentlemen. But there we are. Shortbread isn't taking part. He's not doing a cameo. He might do later this season, but not this round.
Yeah, that's a weird. I guess because I joined midway through, it must have been that. Hopefully, when I retire, it doesn't make a safety car. That's just what I hope.
No, I can't imagine it would on the main straight. I think it'll take over your car. But we are moments away from the first race of the evening. 35% race, of course, for the first round, a 25% sprint for the second. It's the McLaren on the right and the Ferrari on the left here in Austria. Who will make the best start? And the race is live from the Styrian mountains of Red Bull Ring. Born Winner has got a decent start. Jos is alongside. They go into turn one. Jos has got through. There's a little bit of contact. But Jos keeps it in a straight line, importantly. Watts is there. He's looking to the outside line as they approach turn three. They're going to almost go three wide as they go up the hill. But Born Winner has a clear advantage. He leaves a little bit of room for Jos into turn three. They're all bunching up. That's a Red Bull round. I think that's Dino. Dino's gone round. He's been hit at the back, unfortunately, and that's him dropping down the order. But everybody else getting through. There's a three-car battle for fifth as Money Game and Jolt are all together. The two Mercedes nearly make contact. Don't want to keep that one clean, boys. Money Game and Jolt are now going towards turn six, side by side. And Money Game trying to go around the outside of the Williams. They're so tight. We're on board. I'm following this with Psycho, and his teammate has just about edged his way through into fifth place, but Jolt is refusing to give up. He's on the outside for turn 9, and he blasts on through. So that is the end of the first lap, and my goodness, there's been so much action already, but it's Born Winner who leads for the first time here at Gavra. Joss is second, Watts is in third. The front three are all on the medium compound tyres. X90G's fourth. Then there's a bit of a gap back to Jolt, who's still got that Mercedes of Money Game right in his rear wing. Then it's Psycho, Ben Roberts, who's looking for a move on his championship protagonist to the outside. Oh, there might be a little bit of problems here. Contact between Ben Roberts. That's 3 into 1. Just doesn't go, gents. And they all lose places in the steps. Says thank you very much and moves up to 7th. Or rather, Kev Potter moves up to 7th from 17th.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff. They're side by side again. It's chaos here. The Mercedes losing position. Psycho's gone down. Ben Roberts has gone down positions. Born Roberts got a brilliant start. Nearly even broke DRS. If he can keep going, that's huge for his race. Difficult start for the Mercedes there. Money Game down several positions.
It was just a case of 3 into 1 didn't go. And Advantage is now trying to go past Money Game. He's struggling with all the chaos that's going on around him. 3 wide into turn 9. I've never seen that before. Ben Roberts gets forced out wide. There's a yellow flag out there. That's a Mercedes.
Psycho's
Psycho. The championship leader has fallen away. He's been overtaken by Dino, and Shari's had his own problems somewhere. Not sure what's happened, but the drag reduction system, DRS, is now activated. Born Winner and Joss have pulled away, and Watts has lost the position to X90G whilst all the chaos in the midfield was going on.
You can see where that battling has affected them there. Oh,
Ben Roberts, very aggressive into the side of Kev. He won't be pleased at that. He's had a really good start as Kev. He won't want to have any damage, and that's going to frustrate him a bit. I imagine he'll have something to say about it because he's up 8 places from 17th. And Billy Meese, it's all gone. In the last few laps, this first 2-3 laps, Shortbread, has just completely changed and shuffled the order around. And you can't call it because all the strategies are completely different.
I know, look at that, all the different tyres. And then Kev Potter, the only problem is he's already got penalties. He loses another position there. He goes off the track, losing more positions. He has got penalty. Oh, that's JMB spinning off. I saw that. That's unfortunate. He went up the inside. There's no space there. I'm not sure whose fault that was, but maybe he's got a penalty already. So that'll be important for this race. He's lost a few positions, but you can see how the battling is affecting the top 5. Gone already, 2.5 second gap. Big for their race. Already broken that DRS. I imagine they'll be stuck with each other the rest of the race now as the battle for first, all the way with 5 drivers here.
There's a huge fight going on for 9th place. Billy Misu's hanging on to dear life. Kev's trying to go around the outside. Here's Advantage in the Aston Martin trying to make his way through. Kev's dropped 2 places, so his cameo near the front's disappeared, but Money Game trying to recover is going to go around the outside of Billy Misu, almost making it 3 wide. And Money Game, great overtake, up to 9th. And Billy has to be careful not to lose a place to advantage, but I don't think there's much he could do about it. And the Aston Martin is back in the top 10. This is absolutely frenetic racing. It's all going on.
Key for Money Game to get past that on those softs. He really want Billy Misu in his way on mediums, especially that gap 2 seconds. It's going to be difficult to keep him behind with no DRS now, but he's really got to push, see what he can do on those softs compared to the others.
He really does, but the director's pushed his way to the front because Born Winner and Joss and Natty G and Watts are all very close together. Jolt's struggling to live with the pace because of the DRS train in front of him. He can't get close enough. Here comes Joss for the race lead. On the inside at turn 3. He gives a little bit of room for Born Winner, who gets on the power a little bit earlier, and the McLaren holds firm. But watch Natty G on the soft tyres. He can't get through. Now he can. There's a gap on the inside. Josh has got to be careful. He can't afford to lose any more ground. A little bit of contact. And they just about survive it. And you'd expect the Ferrari to seal that place. And he remains in second.
Yeah, Jos just holding position there. That's the problem is for Natty now. He's got 2 drivers on mediums ahead of him, and he can't really use those softs. The best position he'd be in if he was on mediums, but now he's on softs, and nothing he can really do. He's stuck behind. He's going to be in a DRS train, like I said earlier, so he doesn't want to waste them, but the problem is he might lose that advantage he had now, so watch out.
No. Oh, no. Oh, Peter and Ben Roberts come together. Round goes the Haas. And they were I'll be honest with you, they were both very aggressive then. Too aggressive for the pair of them, and Ben Roberts has come off the worst, and the championship protagonist, one of them, is in the pits, probably going to get a front wing. So Ben's aggressive start hasn't paid off, and both of our championship leaders are not in the points. But here comes X90 G. X90 G for second place. This should be move done at turn 4, and he's through. And can McLaren employ a little bit of team orders now to let X90G get away?
Yeah, 8 attempts now. Born Winner got a good lead now. Yeah, like I was saying, with the softs, you might want to use them if they're quick enough. He may want to overtake Born Winner. We'll see how the pace is. 6 laps in already. They won't be in perfect form. Mediums will be better in a few laps' time, probably. Watts spins off. Watts is off. What's he in P10? He's lost quite a few positions there. So he's doing great. It's unfortunate for him, but maybe you're right.
He was in 4th place. Now the soft tyre runners have just come in, so Jolt is in the pits, the steps as well, as Advantage looks to go up the inside of our Peter, who is not giving any quarter this evening. Trying to hold on with those medium tyres, but he's going to find it difficult against the soft tyres at the moment, as Ben picks up a time penalty as he jumps onto the hard compound. Look at Money Game trying to go past our Peter for 5th place as well. He goes through. We're following the Ferrari and the front runners of the McLarens. X90G getting it all a bit too sideways on the exit of turn 4. He got lucky there because Joss could have been through.
Ooh, RP nearly loses the car. He had DRS open and he lost a lot of grip and nearly went off the track and he got down. I'm surprised he didn't, but stayed the same. I was surprised to see so many on hards already. Look at that, 3 at the back already on hards, just stopped now. I'm surprised by that. I feel like they'll be slow at the start, or start there and the end, but we'll see. I'm surprised they boxed so early.
Yeah, it's a very early stop. We saw a couple of drivers try and do that earlier. Fate Knutson tried to do that in race 1 in tier 2. It didn't quite work out in terms of raw pace, but he still came in with a good result nonetheless. So let's see how they got on as Kev and Devori pit from the top 10. But the top 3 aren't quite close enough yet to make a move into turn 3. But X90G will probably want to get past Born Winner for his strategy to pay off and maybe give himself an outside chance of a race win. But at the moment, you're looking to Jolt, who was in that fight. He was 5th place. He's the first of the top 5 to have pitted. You're looking at him and thinking, will he make any gains compared to the front runners who are on different strategy to him right now?
Yeah, you can see, look at that gap, nearly 10 seconds the top 3 are separated. Now that's the effect of battling. And you can see on the track map there, there's just little groups of drivers. Like I was saying earlier, the DRS is so powerful around here. You got the top 3 and then you got another group of cars, all separated by about 5 seconds, but they're all separate, but they can't really escape each other because DRS, they're we're going to be stuck with each other pretty much the rest of the race now, because that's probably shouldn't have battled so much, and that's the result of it. They're all going to be separated now. We've got to catch that up, unless it's something like a safety car. Just don't see it really happening.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult for anyone to try and overtake if they're a bit further back. And look at the front now. X90G is putting a little bit more pressure on his teammate. Maybe try. He just can't get the exit off the corner compared to Born Winner. Now he'll start closing the gap. But unless he goes for something a little bit risky, well, no. Born Winner. Well, there is team. Is there team orders? They're side by side through turn 4. But I think there was a bit of team orders there. I think Born Winner let him through.
Yeah, it was a bit weird. He slowed down and then still say side by side. If he wanted to let him through, he could have done it quite easily. But yeah, it was a weird one there. I'm not sure. He sort of changed his mind halfway through. I'm not sure it was. Or did Money Game make a move on Billy Misu? What was Billy Misu action there? Billy, yeah, I think it's fine. Money Game ahead now. P6.
I think Born Winner did through. I think because Joss is so close behind, they don't want to let him go through. I mean, at the moment, the virtual championship leader is Joss. He's in third, and his two main rivals who are in front of him for the championship are not in the... Well, Psycho's ninth, but as advantage pits from fourth place. But Joss is leading the championship. If the other guy's not scoring enough, an advantage picks up a time penalty for the speeding in the pits.
Yeah, these drivers that are stuck in the DRS train, I think they need to start thinking of undercuts, something like that, maybe even an overcut, just a different strategy than the norm, because they just stick in the norm, they're just going to go nowhere, they're going to be in the same position, really. They think they got to pit this lap, something like that, just do something different, get yourself out there. If you stay in that DRS train, you're going to go nowhere. You got to think differently, maybe undercut, overcut, just do something, you can be in a much better position.
The top three are having a great fight at the moment, but Joss is really looking at the rear wing of that second car on circuit of the Born Winner as our Peter gets back past Money Game for what is fourth on circuit as the Steps sets the new fastest lap of the race, which is impressive considering he's on a new medium tyres. So the medium's showing some really good pace here at the moment. It's going to start becoming a bit of a problem for Born Winner because it seems at this point he's got a little bit more overspeed than Natty G, but if they're playing the team game, he's going to be vulnerable to Joss behind.
I think Money Game's in the right position here, going for pit now. I know he's on softs, but I think at least needs to do an undercut. The only problem is Psycho has come in as well. It's Mercedes double stack. Is Psycho going to be affected here? I'm watching on board. Oh, he did get slowed down a tiny bit. Oh, he loses a few seconds there. That's unfortunate for him. Maybe 2 seconds. It wasn't too bad. It was all right, but top three still very close. They're in a great position now. Just still need to work together. Just keep going, keep increasing that gap. If you overtake now, you probably can be overtaken again in a lap time. So no point to really squabble and lose time. Just sort of work together now.
Yeah, they do need to work together. That's really critical for them. Watts has just made a move on our Peter for fourth, so he's recovering now, trying to get his way back through the field. But when he pits, he's going to be outside of the top 10 by the looks of it. So Watts has got a bit of work to do in that Williams. We're still following the front three, and Natty G now finally pits. And you've got a shootout between the McLaren and the Ferrari on the medium tyres.
Yeah, that was expected being on a softs thing. It makes sense. Try your best the undercut. He's been on mediums, yeah, as they go on to the nice stop from McLaren. Then now it's going to be down to Jos and Bonwood. Actually, see where Natty comes out. Will he come out in clean air? That'll be important. He's got Jolt and J&B coming up. Was he alright? Yeah, I think he's just about got ahead of Jolt there. Yeah, it's a good job. We're lucky. If he got held up, that could have been hugely impactful for his race. So see how those do in front now, because they are mediums. They can take them longer. They could box now. I'm intrigued to see what they do now. I guess a few laps time they'll probably come in for softs for what they do.
You would expect that, and that's just showing, you know, Jolt, who pitted earlier, he was on the soft, he was with that group earlier on, he was 18 seconds behind, and you can clearly see that the pit stop around here is about 17 and a half, and that was vital for Natty G to get through. He's got to use those medium tyres now, get out of the DRS
Jos
range.
is in.
And Jos is in the pits. Well, the undercut was powerful in Tier 2. Will he do the same? And will it have the same effect as Born Winner carries on for another lap? I have a feeling it will.
Yeah, nice. See, and the softs now be so much quicker. Oh, is he slowing the pits? What's going on? He hasn't left the pits? Wow, that was weird. It's only like 3 seconds. Wait. Oh, I don't know if that was just my screen. On my screen, he stayed in the pits for ages, and then he teleported. Might have just been my screen there, but if he did send a pitch right, he's lost his undercut. I'm not sure that was just me there.
Well, regardless, he's out behind Natty G, so he's definitely had a slower pit stop. And
Oh,
Natty
yeah.
G is in net second place, although looking at the times, I think Natty G and Jolt are going to get in front of Born Winner as it stands. And Joss is going to have it all to do, but Joss just strikes me as the type of person who doesn't care and will go for it anyway. This is all to play for now. We wait the progress of Born Winner as everybody watches out on circuit. I think it's one of the
Yeah, he's in.
Haas. Ben Roberts behind Money Game on circuit, but Born Winner is in the pits. As Shortbread rightfully says, I'm going to watch Born Winner. Hopefully Gav is going to watch where ex-Natty G is, because he is coming around the penultimate corner now. His teammate is being serviced. Everyone goes into the pits in front,
Oh,
apart
Jolt gets a
from...
penalty.
Ooh, that's not ideal. And Born Winner's coming out of the pit lane now, but look at the time he's lost.
And he's on
First
hards. What?
Now, that is a shock.
What? Yeah, because Joss is on softs. As Joss gets in front of Jolt there, going up the inside, it's close. Jolt's going to have the DRS, he's got to get a good exit, or Jolt can get him back. I think he should be alright, yeah, Jolt's get back exit. Wow, I'm surprised by that hards. I thought he would have gone softs. Okay.
I don't know if that was intentional. I think Born Winner was probably expecting to go to the softs, and he's not checked his tyre gauge,
MFD.
and he's on the hards. Yeah, that's rough for him. Now, Joss, this is his best chance for a race win, surely. He's on the soft compound. Natty G's less than a second in front of him. And Natty is fighting with Billy Misu for second place. He can't go around the outside at turn 9. Surely not. He has as well. He's gone off the road and Billy Misu goes into the pits. And Natty G will probably get our Peter into turn 1 unless he... No, he's going for it. Oh, it's a virtual safety car.
How has that happened? I'm trying to see who's gone off. I can't see anyone. Is it us? Oh, I think... Oh, yeah, Kev Bott has just gone out. He's hit the wall in the inside. Sector 2. Will that be upgraded to safety car? I'm not sure, but it's weird. He just sort of gone off in the VSC. I'm not sure if that was the cause of it, but...
He was pulled over. He was pulled over to the inside. So I'm not really
A lot of jobs
sure.
get free stops now. Yeah, we got Ben Roberts in the pits. We've got a few more. Yeah, they're getting a free stop here. Makes sense. I mean, in Ben Roberts' position, I think that's the right decision. May as well take the risk. He is sort of at the back now. I think that makes sense. The VSC's still going. He gets about a 10-second stop, saves 10 seconds in the pits. So makes sense he did that. As now he leads with our Peter separating him from Jos. So he's got sort of a buffer here. Our Peter hasn't pit yet. He might pit this lap, but he's got an advantage there. If he can break away, he may be able to break that 1 second if RP doesn't go in.
RP will be praying he can get into the pits because he's not stopped yet. And look, he's trying to get past Natty G so that he can do it. He's been a bit cheeky with it. He can play with the system a little bit and he's got in. So hopefully for RP, if he gets the timing right, he could be out in the points here. We'll wait to see when this virtual safety car ends. So Joss will go through. Advantage has got a time penalty on the virtual safety car, which is a bit clumsy, unfortunately. And the race has resumed. And Money Game's got a drive-through penalty.
Well, that's his race over. I mean, if there's a safety car, I don't think there's anything he can do now. Sped under VSC, very costly mistake. He's in P5 now, and there's nothing he can do. That's pretty much his race over now. Maybe there's no Mercedes scoring points today. Wow.
No. Oh, here comes Joss for the race lead. He's on the inside at turn 4. There's not much Natty can do, but he's going to try. He's on the outside line on the exit of turn 5, but Joss has got the grip, he's got the power, and the Ferrari leads. Can he take that first win in Tier 1 that he's been searching for so desperately this season? And not only that, but take the lead of the championship.
Yeah, Yo's in a great position now. Fresher soft. He's on a better tyre than the less worn as well. As Born Winner. I don't know if that was a mistake or if he chose that, but I don't see why he's on hards. It's a really costly mistake. He'll just be slower than the others now, pretty much the rest of the race. It's going to be difficult for Jos to break that DRS zone. 5 temps, 3 DRS zones. Yeah, it won't be easy to break it, but we'll see. But he's in a great position now, especially to make the most of that. Talking to Psycho, has just got a 3-second penalty, so make most of his title rival is being nearly last. So he's really pushing that in. It makes sense. Now he's going to try up the inside, side by side, the close. Got to get a good exit. Now he'll have DRS. He can go back at him. He's pretty much defenseless here. Now he just has to get a good exit, right up behind him, on the side, up the inside. Quite an easy move, and he's got the job done, and now he's back in the lead. So we may see these two will probably be connected to the rest of the race now.
You'd imagine so, and Joss will be frustrated at that. He wanted to pull away as quickly as he could. Now, these two squabbling are keeping Born Winner just in check at the moment. He's at less than 2 seconds behind. These two keep fighting. It won't matter if Born Winner's on the harder tyres, because he'll just be able to sit with them for a bit. Now, whilst that's going on, whilst that fight's going on, Billy Misu is up to 6th, so and Arpisa's in 7th, so it really worked for Arpisa in terms of the virtual safety car and the pit stop, so he's going to get points. But what's his recovery drive puts him in 5th place, but Joss won't even care about that because he's got DRS, he's behind Natty G, he's using his ERS as he comes up the inside for turn 2, the outside turn 3, he'll be there before the braking is, and he's up back into the lead.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they want to battle too much, because look at that Born Winner. He won't have DRS now, but look at 1 second. He'll lose a bit of time when he won't have DRS, and Natty will, but he's got great pace, considering he's on the hards. They're slightly fresher, but I imagine the hards will be much slower than those softer mediums. Surprised he's keeping up with it. If he can get in there, keep DRS, could just sort of sit behind me, wait for a mistake. Got great pacing, considering he's on the hards. It's definitely not out between the top 3.
No, it's definitely not, and this is a sign of an angry man. Born Winner, he knows he's not on the right compounder tyre, and that's someone who's driving at full speed to make sure he gets through. Crucial fight and move in the championship standings. Ben's just got past Psycho for a point, but Joss is currently taking the championship lead, but he's got Natty G and Born Winner, who hasn't got DRS yet, but it will click for him now, and this is a free car fight for the race lead.
I can't believe how much he's caught up on hards, and he's right up to them, 6 temps now. DRS, wow, I'm surprised by that, but great job of him to keep it up. He's got 6 laps to go. Definitely got time to still win this race. Got to remember, they can't get any penalties now. Just 1 track invalidation now. They could easily lose that first, especially Yoss, who's leading. Any of them, they just got to focus on not getting that penalty now. This top 3, we'll see how they do. I thought Yoss may be able to in good position here, but Born Winner, he's coming back at them.
Yeah, he is really coming at them. Joss is trying to stretch his advantage in this middle sector. Now, recovery drive back on for Watts. He's up to 4th. He's got past advantage with a good move there. Hopefully the race director will now cut to the front 3, because you can't imagine Watts is going to get caught by advantage. He's looked very quick today, just unfortunate with his spin on those medium tyres earlier. And Joss is pushing so hard to get out of that DRS range, but he hasn't quite made it on this lap, and he's going to be vulnerable on the run to turn 4.
Yeah, it's the only problem pushing around there. You feel like you got those new tyres, you push, use ERS, everything out of the tyres, and then you come across the line and they're still 8 temps behind you because you only have a few corners to extend it. That's the problem around there. You sort of just stuck with them now for the rest of the race, no matter how quick, unless you're it's about 2 seconds a lap faster, you're not going to break that. As now he's right behind him, even in the worst tyre. Just so easy for him to stick behind that 3 DRS zones. He's really close. He's low on ERS, but he's going to go up the inside. Looks like enough again, and it's just a repeat of pretty much every lap as now he takes the lead once again, and Yoss is in a McLaren sandwich. So nothing he can really do.
Now, of course, everyone who's watching, you can see Natty G's got the lead, and this is all about the drag reduction system, keeping everybody in the fight. But Born Winner is driving brilliantly at the moment on those hard tyres. He's really got the bit between his teeth. Maybe he can be the Born Winner that his title suggests. It just comes down to the next 5 laps. Look at the speed he's got. I think the soft tyres are going to struggle in the next few laps, though. So Joss is quick at the moment. There's a yellow flag, so he can't overtake. They'll have to wait until the next part of the lap as he comes into turn 3. Joss is a bit wide. This is a chance for Born Winner. DRS open for the pair of them. They come towards Natty G, who's going to be a sitting duck. Oh, he goes defensive. Born Winner up the inside, and he's got 2 for the price of 1, but Natty G goes off the road. So Joss, can he get on the power a little bit quicker? He can. He's up to 2nd, and Born Winner has the lead of this race. There are yellow flags pinging everywhere all over this track, but Born Winner won't care a jot about that. He's in the lead.
Yeah, lovely move. That was DRS, but still getting 2 cars, which 1 straight there. Lovely stuff in front of his teammate on the Ferrari. We're talking about the hards, but like you said, those softs are dying out. The best tyre may even be hards now. 7 temps. He won't break DRS, but it's close. His pace seems amazing, even on those hards. And then maybe Natty can hold it. yeah, this is very intriguing. I have no idea who's going to win this.
Born Winner hasn't had a podium this season, let alone a race win, and now he's on to once again break Ferrari hearts as Joss has to go and try it again to try and get this almost mythical race victory at this point for Ferrari, because it just doesn't seem to happen every time he tries. He has DRS, but he's not making as big a gain as you would expect him to make, but he'll get close on the approach to turn 4, no doubt about that. But one thing I was going to mention before Born Winner went through is, and we're not going to mention this out loud, so because there are drivers who listen into this, and me and Shortbread don't want to give any tactical advantage to any of the front three. ERS management is going to be important in these remaining laps. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's going to be interesting. It's key. You want to sort of leave it to, if you're Born Winner, you want to save as much as you can, but that's easier said than done. If you can get it a bit into the last lap, because obviously that's when you're most likely to go full attack on you when you can't get it back. So he definitely isn't over. Oh! And that's pretty much his race over now. He won't be able to break 3 seconds, I imagine, unless they get a penalty as well.
Oh, he cut
that's his win gone.
Yeah, he cut the inside at turn 10. And that's just triggered, and you said it before, Shortbread, they've got to keep it clean for the remaining laps, and Born Winner's not done that. He'll have to hope he can break a second, and then Joss and Natty squabble for second. That's his only chance now.
Jos and Natty, all he needs to do, he doesn't even have to attack now, just simply defend from Natty, and he's got the DRS. It would be quite easy. He just got, he thinks going up the inside, just a bit too far behind. But remember, Jos doesn't have to attack now. He can just sort of be conservative. Don't risk a penalty now. If he gets a penalty as well, that's a free win for Natty, really. Just keep it under control, stick behind. Jos is in a great position here. It'll be difficult for Natty when Jos has DRS as well. See how they can do it. It won't be easy till the end. No, Jos is in a great position.
Can I just say one point here that Joss has closed the gap immensely in this lap? Did Born Winner, I am speculating a little bit here, but did he slow down a little bit? Maybe he knows now, 3-second time penalty, try and help his teammate out for the win.
Maybe, but if he's slowing down, he's still giving Jos DRS. If anything, he want to speed up, and then Jos is left defenseless, and with no DRS. If anything, Born Winner's helping Jos right now, because if right now he's going to win with that DRS, those soft tyres, they may be falling off, but they may seem to be holding on. Oh, now he gets really close to there. Oh, they touch a bit there. Now they got bad exit. Natty might be all over him here. It's close.
That's what I was insinuating. Born Winner trying to slow him down so that Natty can get a look. Up the inside, Joss takes the lead. Natty G goes through. Born Winner, that's it, done for him. He's probably going to be a rear guard now for his teammate. Great teamwork between these two, it's got to be said. But Ferrari versus McLaren for this race. I can't speak, it's so much going on. This race victory, Joss has the current position that everybody wants, but he's on the final lap once he comes around this 10th corner of this 4.3 kilometer circuit. It's been so close all the way through. This is it.
Yeah, on the final lap, it might be taken away from Jos here. That was a perfect move from Born Winner to move that way for his teammate. He was out of the win anyway. Now Jos has no DRS. He's left defense 3 attempts. He has 2 DRS zones. He's got a great chance there. If he can get it, this is his win. It's his win to lose.
Here we go to the inside line. Natty G's very close with the brakes, but he's got it wrong. He got it wrong on the curb. He got it all wrong. He's all over the place, and surely that's going to seal it for Joss. I don't think Natty's going to be close enough, and he isn't into turn 4. He's going to brake a little bit later, but he's not close enough. I think Joss has got it.
No, big mistake in turn 3. Just rode that big yellow sausage curb on the inside. Got the exit completely wrong, and big mistake there, costly mistake, possibly lost a win there. He was in a great position, but Jos has managed it perfectly. He's got 3 temp gaps, it's going to be close, but he should be alright. Looks like Jos has managed this race perfectly, and he's going to be rewarded for it if he doesn't get him on the inside.
This isn't over. Comes down to the exit, but Joss is going to finally take that mythical win he's been looking for, and he's got it in Tier 1. Joss is the race winner, ex-Natty G takes second in the end, with Born Winner lucky in third. What great recovery drive from him to finish 4th. He probably would have been up there had it not been for his spin, and now we wait for the penalties. It's a 4th and a sixth for Williams as Jolt moves down to sixth place. Billy Miso up to fifth. That's a good result for the Alpine. Ben Roberts recovers seventh. That's a good result for the championship. Advantage in eighth. J&B Surreal ninth. Our Peter 10th. And Psycho, our championship leader going into this race, not getting any points.
Big race there. Jos gets the win, and then Ben Roberts 7th, Psycho P11, was it? So, is that...
Yeah.
So just imagine, is Jos leading the championship, then Ben Roberts, then Psycho? I think that would be the top three, wouldn't it?
Be the case, and X90G is going to close that gap down as
Yeah.
well. So this is now turned into a real four-car fight for the championship.
One race and Psycho's dropped 2 positions in the championship. As they're the man that wins it, takes the lead of the championship, I imagine it will be.
It is indeed, and Joss finally celebrating that race win. He's been looking for it for such a long time, it feels like, but he has finally got there, and he's fended off 2 McLarens to do that, and he'll be chuffed to pieces, no doubt. But let's just have a quick run through the final standings, just so we've got them confirmed. It is Joss who takes the race win. X90G ends up with second place and puts himself firmly in the hunt for a championship. Can he get a third championship? Who knows? Then a little bit further down, you've got Born Winner, who was for a race victory. Didn't quite work out for him, but he is looking very quick this evening. Then it's Watts, who got the fastest lap of the race. Keep an eye out for him in the Williams, provided he doesn't have any more accidents. He might just be in with a shout. Billy Misu with a great drive from 15th to 5th. Gained a lot of spots there in the end. Jolt 6th. Ben Roberts in 7th. Good recovery in the end. Advantage 8th. J&B Surreal from 16th on the grid to score points again. Our Peter gets the last point in 10th. So that safety car, virtual safety car timed well. Mercedes, Constructors Championship leaders. Neither of them getting points. Devori, the Steps, and everybody else below. Dino, Kev, Shari, and Shortbread, obviously retiring.
Yeah, I didn't have a great race today.
No.
But what is that? Yeah, Mercedes showing no points, and then McLaren double podium, huge points all for them. And then what was that? I think that was Billy Misu, 10 positions he gained from 15th to 5th. That was a great drive, sort of just went unnoticed, just driving his own race and gained 10 positions. So perfect drive in. And then also, like I said, Watts, if he didn't make that mistake, he got fastest lap by a huge amount, something nearly a second, I think. And then he recovered from that spin. And yeah, I'm interested to see if he can just keep it clean this time. He'd imagine surely be up with the top 3.
Yeah, Watts 13th in the championship going into this event. Admittedly, he missed last week, as I said, at today, and showing some great pace. He showed great pace in the first round of the season as well, did Watts. He was just a little bit unlucky. I think he had a spin that time as well. So he's got to try and find a little bit more consistency, but his pace is undeniable. I've had a quick calculation of the drivers' standings. Let me tell you how close it is at the moment. Joss now leads on 80 points. You have Ben Roberts now in second place on 68. Psycho is third on 63, or rather 65, and X90G is fourth on 63 points. So Joss has a 12-point gap to Ben. Psycho 3 points back, X90G 2 points back from there, and I think Money Game would be fifth, but he's some way back now.
Wow, yeah. So, yeah, Jos giving himself a great lead, much bigger than the gap from second to fourth, I think, something like that with Natty. And wow, yeah, Jos put him in a great position here. Ben Roberts and Psycho have got big recovery to do as first and second, and they dropped down in position to Jos, who had a great race.
That's going to give. What does a first race victory do to your Shortbread in terms of your psychological development? So how does that increase your performance? Does it increase your performance, do you think?
Yeah, I imagine not perform, but it just gives you that confidence. Maybe just less mistakes. You know what to do. You won, so you're clearly fastest of everyone. You just know where the pace is. You can see it. You just know what to do. It really helps you. I imagine now Jos, it's just a great race really from him. I don't think he made any mistakes. Just no penalties, anything like that. He just basically repeat what he did last time and hope it's enough. He did a great job and probably a favourite going into this one as well. He did a great race in the first race. He got one more. Be very confident for the exact same thing, so he should be good. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll want to do the same again, but this is what I said in the Tier 2 lobby earlier. It's well and good getting a good race result in the first round, but the second round all determined by a one-shot qualifying system here in Austria. Track limits are brutal around here. I'm sure Shortbread will agree. You cannot afford to run over the white lines, otherwise your race will be almost consigned to DRS train hell.
Yeah, that's true. I always saw it. I imagine something like Psycho, Ben Roberts, they just don't make a mistake in that one-shot quality release. Don't push that much, but you still get a much better position than they started in last race, because started so far down that it just doomed their race, really. There's nothing much they can do in a track like this. So short in all those DRS zones. Yeah, don't push too much and invalidate. That's the main thing for this. Don't invalidate for this one-shot quality. That's it, really.
That's absolutely. They've got to plan this right. We are waiting for qualifying 2 to start. Obviously, a little bit of complaining in in the post-race comments. I'll let you have a guess who is having a bit of a moan in the comments. Let the stewards decide what happens there with that one. A couple of people are missing, but I think we've got everybody in now. I think we were just waiting on Shari's session is due to start. We've got one race under our belt so far, so I'm going to be a little bit more mean to you this time, Shortbread. Who is getting pole this time round?
He's getting pole. Wait, so just check. Did Jos get pole, didn't he, in qualifying? Was it Jos?
I know it was born winner.
Oh, yes, of course it was. Yeah, before the penny. I might say Born Winner again because his pace seemed amazing, especially on those hards. We didn't really expect it. We saw. Oh, I thought when he could put those hards on, I thought that was sort of like he's going to lose out to the rest. But he managed to claw it back, and he was going to win if it wasn't for that penalty. So, yeah, I think I'll go Born Winner. I think would be mine. What about yours?
I'm not normally in the business of making predictions, but I would like to say I'd like to see Watts put in a performance. He looked very quick, and I think if he can nail one lap here, I think he's in with a good shout.
Yeah, I think Watts is a good one actually. Yeah.
Who knows? We'll wait and see, because this is all up for grabs in this session. You can't call it, or rather you can try, but you probably won't get there. But qualifying due to start any second now. Hopefully you'll be able to see that coming up on your screen shortly. I know that the stream images are just flashing through at the moment. Those championship standings are out of date. We have Joss Money Game now a little bit further back. A good result. We didn't talk much about this, but Advantage, who finished 5th in that race, had a very quiet one, but kept out of trouble and got a good result in 5th in the end.
Yeah, I would say it's just many drivers out there getting penalties is key. If you can avoid a penalty, that's several positions free for you right there. Just simply stay inside the white lines. That's get so many positions, as we know, so costly for Born Winner. They're losing a win nearly right at the end. Just something so silly like that. Could have won. He had the pace for it, and then lost it right there. So if you can keep it clean, that's huge for your race.
Yeah, that's going to be so critical, and he needs to use that mindset as well in qualifying now and make sure he doesn't have any further errors that could leave him down the back of the grid. But we're going here at Austria. Let's see how we get on. No point in commenting in terms of who's quickest yet, not until we get to the first sector time point. But the usual suspects have just found themselves up near the front again, but I think it's going to be Jolt fastest into sector 1, and it is.
Yeah, you can see, I know it's only sector 1, but he's even Born Winner quite far down, just around P11, P10, knocking around that area. See, yeah, Ben Roberts leading and Psycho, they're quickly making up for the big mistake they made previously in the last session. Yeah, it's moving around a lot, but Born Winner's struggling so far.
I'm just a little bit maybe making sure he doesn't invalidate his lap time. I'll tell you what, it's very close to sector 2, but it's Ben Roberts just in sector 1, and my man for pole position, Watts, is right there with him. So we got a couple of corners, 2 corners. These very fast right-handers got to spot your braking point and turn in. 1 final corner to go. Oh, it's nip and tuck for pole. Who's going to get there? It's Watts.
Oh well, there you go. Your guess is right. That's really close. Look, Ben had it, and then he just lost a tiny bit on the line, and Watts gets his first pole.
His first ever pole. Look how close it is. 200ths of a second, but Watts gets his first ever pole here with Gavra. Great result. Ben is second, Joss third, Psycho fourth, so the championship protagonist back at the front. Money Game there responding well, 5th place, X90G 6th, the steps, much more like it from him. In 7th, Born winner, down in 8th, but he's got some good pace in that car. Our Peter and JMB Surreal round out the top 10 with Dino and Devori. The last of the drivers within a second. Billy Misu sets a lap a little bit slower, but it's got him 13th. With Shari, Advantage and Jolt, who were both right up there, not setting a lap time thanks to track limits.
Yeah, Psycho, it's nice stuff making up, and Ben Roberts as well, yeah. It's nice to see them second and fourth, something like that. They were there, but much better than their last qualifying and race. So imagine to sort of make it up for their mistakes now and get points. Important for the championship fight now.
Really important. Looks like it's a dry race as well, so we're not going to have the shenanigans that we had from Tier 2 where we had an intermediate weather race. We've got a dry one by the looks of it. We'll wait and see. The weather can change around the Spielberg Mountains. We've seen a number of wet races, weather-affected races in Formula One around here, right the way back to the 1970s at the Österreich Ring, as it was once known. And Vittorio Brambilla, particularly winning a race, rain-shortened race on that day in 1975. Famously, Brambilla crashing over the finish line as he waved in celebration for a race victory. I imagine the drivers will probably not want to do that. They don't want to crash before they get to the start line, but we are just seconds away from who is going to win this race too. And my goodness, it's going to be hard to pick, isn't it, Shotbread?
Yeah, I'm excited. Oh, lights out.
Here we go then. 5 red lights coming on for race 2 at Gavra, Tier 1. And the race is live. It looks like a relatively decent start from the front row, but it's going to be Ben Roberts on the inside into turn 1. Short Fred is going to also watch a little bit further back. We're watching Money Game go past just for 5th place. It hasn't worked out. There's a yellow flag. That's JB Surreal facing the wrong way, but Ben Roberts has had the best start he could have ever wanted. He leads into turn 1. Watts is there in second. Psycho in third. Money Game in fourth. Don't get confused by the timing tower. For some reason, Billy Misu is a lap clear of everyone. That is not the case. But Watts is on the inside. He's going for the race lead. He pushes Ben Roberts right up to the curb. Ben Roberts is trying everything. He's on the soft tyres, but Watts stays in front. Great driving between these two. The 2 Mercedes are next up, but Psycho knows he's got to fight back, and he's right with them.
Ben Roberts got a perfect start getting up the inside, but now lost the position on the slower tyre for Watts. This key for Watts' race now. He might not be able to break away, but Ben Roberts struggling in those softs. That would have been key if he could break away, but not enough. Maybe wait until DRS then.
We're across the start-finish line for the first time of asking, and it is Watts in the lead. Billy Misu setting 73:43, so great laps from him for whatever reason it is. But it is Watts leading the way. DRS is enabled, so that's a lap early, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a bit weird, isn't it? But, ooh, what's going on the outside? Trying it.
Ooh, a bit of contact between the two. Now, I think the lobby is glitched here. Not really sure why that's gone on, but we'll crack on as we normally do. Ben is still fighting Psycho, trying to make it 3 wide. Psycho trying to go around the outside of the pair of them, but Ben Roberts says no and goes undercut with Watts and retakes the lead. Those soft tyres coming in handy in these opening phases, but Psycho has lost a huge heap of time because of that.
Yeah, Psycho sort of ran wide there onto the gravel, lost a lot of time. He's still got DRS, but now sort of under attack from his teammate as Ben Roberts made up for that mistake. Already see 6/10. He's got just use those softs, push as much as he can, way better tyres he's on. And that DRS will be available now. It's unlikely he breaks it, but it's just got to push as much as he can, make the use of those softs before Watts gets them.
Yeah, so the drivers are on their next lap. Now, I could tell you one thing, that Billy Misu is in the fight for 11th place. He's not actually in first place, just so you're aware. But Ben Roberts, as Shortbread said, has got to make use of these soft tyres now and try and not fight too much, really, with the cars behind. But Psycho's ran deep into turn 3, and his teammate wants to get a better result after the nightmare in race 1, and he goes through, and he's got DRS, and he should be able to stay in front of his teammate, but they're clearly no team orders at Mercedes as he goes around the outside to Psycho, keeps his foot in. This is a good overtake from Psycho, and he gets back through.
Yeah, that's a nice move. I was going to say Psycho would be hating this. His teammate, who's lower down in the championship and not as much in the championship fight, I don't think he is. And in the way, he's nearly lost DRS to Watts there, the front two. Be horrific for his race. But always 1 second, he is so close. If he loses DRS, he may not be able to get it back. He needs to push as much as he can, final two corners. I think he's just about got it. That was key for his race. If he lost it there, he lost a lot of time. That's clear for him. He's got that.
Oh, that's advantage facing the wrong way. The road, and Jolt's gone off with him, so I imagine those two have made contact. But Ben Roberts leads the way. Money Game's going past his teammate for third, and in the meantime, Watts was thinking about an overtake, but he'll look to try and get a better exit out of turn 3. Fair play to Ben. He's got a lot of traction with that soft compound, but the DRS is so powerful around here. 3 DRS zones. Watts on the inside at turn 4. Ben's going to have the better line and stays in front for now.
Yeah, I don't think Watts has to worry too much. If anything, if they can stop battling, maybe they can escape that 1 second window with Money Game. I'm not sure that's happening too close, but he doesn't need to worry too much. Ben on those softs. If he's a bit slower, that's okay. He'll get those better tyres later on, about midway through the race, lap 9, something like that, and then he'll be, I would imagine, a few tenths quicker.
Yeah, that's absolutely certain. Now, one thing that is going on at the moment, whilst this race lead is battling, is that Josh and X90G and Born Winner are all together again. And X90G and Born Winner both on the soft tyre. They want to get past Josh, who's on that medium tyre. He's keeping up with the guys in front, but he's more sort of hanging on. Watts for the lead on the inside at turn 3. No, just brakes a little bit later. He doesn't. I think Watts understands the situation he's in. He doesn't want to fight too hard. He wants to use Ben up as much as he can. And then, well, I was going to say leave it to him. Now he's learnt this time. He's going to the outside at turn 4. This is the right place to be if he can get on the power early enough, and he has done. He's on the inside for turn 6. This is surely a move done for Watts, and he's back in the lead of the race.
Yeah, nice move. This DRS, we're probably just going to see this. We're going to be swapping positions, Gonzi pretty much every lap of them. Keep going first, second. This DRS so powerful for him. Did nothing like how they raced that last week. Even though the high-speed corners, this 1 DRS zone compared to 3 is completely different story. Just now, imagine, look at this DRS train all the way down to, what's that, P9. All of these drivers are in about half a second now. Nothing they really can do now. They just thought it's stuck in it now. They're going to think about strategy to get out of it.
Yeah, they're going to have to, but Ben Roberts won't be thinking too much about strategy just yet. He wants to get this overdone on Watts for the race lead, and he sweeps back through. Now, Watts has got to be careful. Well, I say he's got to be careful. He's going to look for a repass of Ben, who went a little bit deep into turn 3. He's got DRS. He should clear the Haas, and he does, and takes the racing line into turn 4. But I was about to say he's got to be careful because Money Game looking like a different driver here in race 2.
Yeah, he's using this as much as he can, catching up right to the leaders here. It's just, you can see all that DRS train. I'm thinking drivers like Psycho, Natty, Born Winner, they're all just sort of in this DRS train. Nothing they can do. They've all DRS, nothing different between them. I think they just start having to think maybe box 1 or 2 laps earlier for those new tyres. They got to think of something. If they just sit there, Ben Watts gets a penalty. That's big for his race. At the current time, he's going to lose several positions with penalty if no one else gets it. And just got to think about strategy now. Get out of that DRS zone, do something different, gain loads of time. That's all they can do now, really.
Yeah, Dino spun on the exit of turn 9 whilst we were watching that, and Ben Roberts, like you say, Shortbread got that time penalty, but Money Game is looking like the fastest Mercedes at the moment. He's got it looks like he's got a lot of traction and a good setup on his car, but we are now on to lap 8 of this. Well, actually no, the drivers we're following are on lap 7 at the moment, The lap counter in the top left corner is for Billy Misu, who for some reason is a lap clear. We don't know why, but there he is. He is actually fighting with our Peter for what would be 9th place. So just try and ignore that as best as you can. But the medium tyres will be coming into their own at this stage, and you can see that because he's got half a second on Ben, as Watts.
Yeah, interesting to see that. We didn't really talk about much, but the penalty that Ben Roberts got already with 10 laps to go, I think it was a really difficult situation here. There's so many drivers behind him, and now it looks like, yeah, Natty's come in now. I imagine going on to the medium, but I think that's the right choice. Undercut everyone. He's undercut that whole DRS train. If he comes out in clear air, which hopefully he should, that's big for his race. I reckon he can gain a few positions here. I think other drivers should be doing it as well. I'm surprised.
Yeah, they definitely do need to be doing that. It'd be really beneficial for them because they're going to make... X90G has come out. He's just come out behind Advantage, and he's fighting with Devori as well. So both of them suffering with a spin as Money Game stays ahead of Psycho for now, but Psycho is not giving this up. Both teammates lean on one another, and I said Money Game was looking like the faster Mercedes. Take that back. Psycho has just re-emerged from wherever he was sitting.
Yeah, nice move right behind his other title rival. I think it needs to be done. Is that Jos coming in now? Oh, there's a few drivers coming in. That's interesting. Jos coming in on the mediums. I'm surprised by that. That's quite early for the mediums, but maybe if they're not working, that's fair enough. You've got 3 drivers coming in. Makes sense all that those come in now. You'll start seeing many pitters come in as we enter the pit window.
Yeah, I don't think it'll matter too much. Joss. Oh, what's going on with Born Winner? That took a while. I think that might have been a bit of a glitch, actually. So they carry on, a couple of drivers. Where's X90G relating to these guys? Here he comes out of turn 1. He's in front of them all.
Yep, and just as I said, there you go. He's done I think they've done the perfect strategy call there, and just from nothing really, just pitting 1 lap earlier than everyone else. He got 3-2 positions, which is huge for this race with the DRS trains. Those are 2 positions he wouldn't have gained if he pit a lap later. So perfect call there from McLaren.
Tell you one other good move just then. Josh just snuck up the inside of Money Game with those soft tyres. That was a good move. So X90G in prime position here to get himself into the lead of this race. We saw Shari retire. It's been a nightmare for him today as Ben now pits from the lead of the race. Psycho follows him in. Ooh, Psycho. Ben taking it a little bit easier. It was. Psycho braked really late, but Ben braked really early. Natty is past J&B Surreal. That's a good move for him. That was important. Now, where is Natty G in relation to Psycho, who gets out in front, or rather behind, the Haas? Here we go towards turn 1. The Ferrari of Joss is trying to go through. He's got past them. Everyone's going to be fighting on the exit of the corner. This is going to be so close. Ben and Joss side by side up the hill. Natty G's there. Psycho's going to have DRS. He blasts on through. Joss has benefited the most, but then Psycho gets it wrong and runs into the back of Ben. Ben keeps it in a straight line. DRS available for Natty G. He's going to try and go through. They're 3 wide on the approach to turn 4. Make it all align. Ben stays in front, and Natty G still fighting with Psycho. They're so close to one another as they approach turn 6. Psycho's on the inside, but Natty is not giving this move up. Watts is in the pits, by the way, whilst we're watching this. Natty G goes round the outside at turn 7 and takes the move.
Nicely done, chaos there. You can see how much Natty's gained here just from pitting that bit earlier. He's gained so much. It's perfect for his race. He won't really suffer that much at the end. He only pit 1 lap earlier. As you see, the race leader coming in now. On the exit, it's going to be close between them all.
It's going to be really close. Joss is coming out, though. Out of turn 1, he's got the lead. Ben's going to go through. Watts is going to slot into 3rd place. So out of all of them, Joss is the one who's won the most. He is in the lead of this race. Again, don't forget, we're on lap 11, not lap 12, because we're apparently a lap behind Billy Misu, who I could tell you on circuit is fighting with our Peter for what is 10th place. So Joss leads, but look at this. Ben Roberts to the outside line at turn 4. Can he hold it around the outside? He can.
Yeah, nicely done. That's a good move. All sort of, it may nullify a bit here. All similar position now. Just remember Ben Roberts, though, great position, but that penalty, we can't forget about that. Jos is still leading here, really. Although he might not be leading on track, Benrock's got great pace, but because of that penalty, unless someone else gets a penalty, Benrock could be down like 5 positions here if they all stay so close.
Right, the other thing to factor in as well is that born winner and the steps are not too far away from this lot. So if you factor Ben's penalty in, he could be as low as 9th at this point. So everyone's got to keep their nose clean, and Ben more than anybody knows that. Here comes Watts. He's got DRS. He's flying up the inside of the Williams. He just needs to brake a little bit later. He's on the inside at turn 3. Both drivers will have DRS. Joss is not giving it up. They're side by side. DRS now open, and Watts is going to go through, and he's going to try and look to get past Ben at turn 4. That's a great move, and he needs to use those soft tyres to get away now.
Yeah, that's a nice move. Late on the brakes, all the way around the outside. Nicely done there to get 2 positions really, and just a few corners. We'll see what he can do later on the soft. He does have an advantage now. The good thing is Ben Rhodes isn't his race now. He's going to be all the way down nearly at the points at this race. If Ben Rhodes can sort of just defend, get in the way of Jos here, Watts in a great position, but I don't think he'll be able to DRS. It's so powerful here. It's so difficult to brake. Nothing much he can do, but Watts in a good position now if Ben Roberts stays behind him.
Yeah, he's really in a good position, and I tell you something, this is going to become a huge fight for the race lead, because we'll have 8 cars shortly within the DRS train. The steps is right there. He's just on the edge, and he's got the soft tyres, and he's taking born winner with him. Ben closes right up on the brakes, but he's not close enough, and his exit was just a little bit weaker than what he would have wanted. We could have 2 race winners, new race winners for the first time here in Tier 1. We had Joss earlier. Can Watts make it 2 new winners from 2 races? We'll find out. But there's still 4 laps to go after this one, and the tyre factor will start happening in the next lap or 2. So who knows where this is going to end up.
Yeah, I think we did say Watts, we got to look out for him next race earlier on, because he did look great. It's just unfortunately he span earlier on. Other than that, his pace is amazing here. He's doing a great job to stay ahead. I imagine Ben Roberts may have overtaken just some of the DRS, but yeah, he's looking on fire at the moment.
Yeah, now what I'm watching at the moment and what I'm looking at is everybody conserving a little bit of ERS. The driver who's going to struggle the most with that is obviously our race leader, Watts. He's going to have to try and find a way to fight everyone off, but he's using his soft tyres well, and he's not under pressure into the first real braking opportunity, and he's got great traction. So Watts is just playing it perfectly at the moment.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not gaining on him more, since he doesn't have that advantage DRS about 10-15 miles an hour around here. So surprised keeping that 6/10 gap. He's holding it nicely. See how he does. Think 3 laps to go, something like that. We don't really know with this clip. See how he does. He's doing well, holding those softs together. Yeah, he's got the freshest softs and best tyre. He's looking in a very good position. He's not far from breaking off, so he's close to his first win. He's just got to keep on track. Don't get a penalty as well. The main thing we saw, born winner lose his win earlier, from getting that penalty. So just got to watch it, keep it clean, stay inside those white lines.
There's a great fight for the non-race lead with Billy Misu and Arpita for 9th. They're currently in 1st and 10th, but that is obviously not the case. They're 9th and 10th, and there's a great fight between them 2 for that position. But we will have a couple of more laps remaining. Of course, we're on lap 15, not 16, despite what the top left timing tower says. And once again, Ben cannot get close enough to that Williams, and that's just stretching everybody out into this DRS train. And in this position, I'm gonna ask your driving opinion on this, Shortbread. Steps, who's in 7th place on circuit at the moment, he's on the soft tyres, he's got DRS, but the cars in front of him have. How tough is it to overtake around this track when you're in a DRS train?
Yeah, we've been talking about how you need to just get out of DRS trains as much as you can. You're just sort of stuck there. You just can't go forward, don't really go backwards. You're just stuck there in that position. Even though he's got the advantage of those softs, he could be 5 tenths quicker a lap, but you can't do anything about it because no one's got the advantage. Talking that has money game ahead of him has lost DRS. That's key. So he may have a chance at it as Psycho going up the inside. It's a nice move. That was important. That's not easy to do under a DRS train. I think X13 may have lost DRS there slightly. That's how he may have got done. As you can see, that they're sort of separating now on the mini map. They're all sort of losing that DRS just about, and this is what you're seeing. All being done. The second DRS is lost. You've got to pounce as soon as you can. You don't need a second invite. Just push as much as you can. Don't mess up. That's all it is. As you see, Steps, just as I said now, Money Game. He's going to the inside of Money Game because Money Game's lost that DRS. He's on those fresh softs. It's important for him to get in front, and he's done it. Nice move at the inside. Great race for the Weekend League 2 and Tier 1 driver. He did a 1.2 bit further away. It's going to be difficult to get 2 attempts in those 2 corners, but the fresh soft, we'll see if it's enough.
Yeah, the Steps are showing some really good form again within Tier 1 and in Tier 2, but the fight at the front is hotting up even more. Ben looks closer than he has done so far as we move ourselves onto lap number 17, the penultimate lap of this race. Watts at the moment is hanging on, but Ben is a lot closer than he's ever been before to the back of that Williams, but he knows that realistically he's just got to work with Watts to pull away from everybody else's Money Game where he overtakes Steps for 6th place.
Yeah, Psycho now, he's just behind his title rival here, the title leader. He just lost it last race. 6 tenths behind, nothing much he can do with this DRS. Now he's nearly lost it, actually. He may have just lost it now. And as Steps has dropped 2 seconds as well, not sure, I think he just lost a bit of time there. I'm not sure what happened there. But
just got over, he just overtook Money Game for 6th place. Now that's important though, you mentioned that, because Ben has got a 3-second time penalty. He's going to slot himself into 5th place as it stands.
Yes, I think he will, something like that. Yeah, so not a bad position. That's Jolt out.
Yeah. Too late for a safety car. Too late for a safety car. He just spun it all by himself and called it quits. He's had a torrid time this evening. This is it then. Final lap of the race. Oh, and Ben's gained another place.
Yeah, on the final lap. That's unfortunate. I think. Oh, is it? Yeah, it's just ended, but I think we got one more lap, haven't we?
Yeah, we are on this. This is it. Billy Misu has crossed the line, and everybody else now will filter in their position, so they're going to lose a lap. But that's not the case. Watts is side by side with Ben. Ben's going to try and go for the lead on the final lap. They don't need to lean on each other so hard. Just keep it clean, boys. This is it. Watts wants to win this on track. He doesn't have to, but he's going for it anyway. And he's not going to have the momentum off the corner, so Ben will take the lead. Watts is just a couple of corners away from a first race victory, but Josh smells blood. He's closing that gap down in the Ferrari. Can he get close enough to the Williams as they go around the penultimate corner? I don't think Josh is going to be close enough, and he isn't. Watts keeps it together. Ben crosses the line as the race winner, but it's Watts who is the race winner for Tier 2, Race 2. Just takes 2nd. It's X-Natty G in 3rd. Wow, what a race.
Yeah, nicely done. I'm surprised Watts risked it so much going side by side with Ben there. He didn't need to do that with the penalty. He could have gone to a disaster really quick, but nice drive from Watts there. Deserved, and I believe his first win as a rookie. Nice job.
First win and pole position, so well done to him. He's going to be chuffed. You'll see Billy Misu on the podium. He hasn't won. He has finished, I'm just looking to see, he's finished in front of our Peter for 9th place. So let's just get this order sorted. It's Watts who takes his first ever win here with Gavra. Then it's Joss in 2nd, a big result for him for the championship. X-Natty G moves himself into 3rd place. He's had a good weekend as the McLaren driver. 4th goes the way of Ben. What could have been for him had he had just not got that time penalty? Who knows where he could have ended up. Then in 5th place, you got Psycho. Unfortunate for him with that time penalty. The Steps putting on another good show with 6th place. Money Game dropped to 7th in the end. It didn't work out for the Mercedes driver. Born winner in 8th place with Billy Misu in 9th. Our Peter taking 10th place. Advantage ended up 11th. He had a good race 1, but Advantage just slipped away sadly towards the end. J&B Surreal and Devori were 12th and 13th. Dino and Jolt were classified, but unfortunate races really for them too. Shari was not classified as a finisher. He retired. Whew. Take a breath.
Yeah, difficult weekend there for what was the title leaders, Ben Roberts and Psycho, only 5th and 6th again. From Ben Roberts started 2nd, obviously due to the penalty, but then Psycho started 4th, ended up 6th, also with the penalties. But still, they were leading this championship, those two, before these 2 races, and now Jos has taken it from them, and they lose even more points to them.
Yeah, it's really going to be. It's going to be a huge fight to the end of the season, and we've Belgium next week, of course, which is a track that really separates the drivers, the strong race drivers from the boys, really. And Austria, that's what really the championship is going to swing towards. The momentum's going to swing towards Jos now, who leads the championship. Now, I'll give you the overview and I'll let Shortbread have a think of a question he might want to ask the drivers when they join, and I know a couple of them are doing so at the moment. But Jos will lead the championship coming out of Austria with just 4 races to go. We then also have, in second place now in the championship, Ecstatic G has put himself there in second place. You've got Ben Roberts in third, and Psycho, who started the championship in the lead, he is now in 4th. So we'll have a chat with everyone once they join the session. Natty has joined, but we'll wait for everybody else to get involved. Have you got any questions, Shortbread, you think you want to ask?
I'm trying to think. I can't think of any right now. You may end up having to do all of them. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've got any right.
That's all right.
I'm trying to think.
So hopefully we'll get everybody in. I'd love to have a chat with Jos, but I don't know what his proficiency in English is like, because I know that Jens has never spoke with us before in the chat. I know Ben's thinking that he's 20 points clear, but it's not quite that far. I think there's a lot going on. Watts is asking if there is. Oh, good news! Way, great news. Jos has said he will do an interview. That is great news. We've never interviewed him in Tier 1. I don't recall interviewing him when he was fighting in Tier 2. I think Gavra will put this in. There we go. So that comment has been left by Gav. And everybody joining now. By the looks of it, there we go. We've got a few people joining into the interview area. I don't know how many people you can get into the interview. Someone has just left though. I'm not sure who it was. I think it was the Steps who's just left. We have got one of our race winners.
The match is 6 in the party, I think.
Who was that?
Oh, it's me, sorry. I think you can get 6 people in here. I think that's
6.
the max, if I remember.
Okay, so what we'll do then is we will make a start. I want to have a chat with Watts first, because he was our most recent race winner. Watts, can you hear me? Can you unmute your mic?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. Wow, that was an absolutely wonderful performance from you today. Tell us how tense that was, the last race.
Very.
Did you think that you were going to win tonight? Because you showed some really good pace in race 1, but you were my prediction for pole for race 2. You got it. What was in your mind when you were thinking trying to take that first victory?
Oh, really? Ben right behind me. I didn't really know what to do for the last few laps.
Did you? Go on. Sorry.
No, you're right.
Did you think that because you had the soft tyres, you'd be able to just keep him out of at arm's length for a few laps until the final lap.
Yeah, I mean, I started off the race on the mediums, obviously, and then I was showing some pretty good pace, I thought, and was able to keep ahead of them. And then once it come to the time to pit, so I thought I'd be pulling out at least maybe 2 or 3 tenths a lap on them, but they just kept in the DRS train and kept me under pressure.
Yeah, I can imagine that DRS is so powerful around here. It's worth so much time. I've got one more question for you, but I'll just cut to shortbread. Do you have any questions for Watts?
I may be stealing yours here, but how are you feeling going into Spa next week? I know it's quite a different track to this one. You had a great performance here. Do you think you could replicate that going to Spa?
Hopefully I can. I mean, I'm not the quickest round there, but I'll put in some lap times and see what I can do.
My last question for you, Watts, is what's the plan now for the rest of the season? Is it get a couple more podiums, race wins? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's obviously aiming for the podium, so I'm hoping that I can get some good pace going and maybe some momentum and hopefully pick up a few more wins.
Brilliant. Well, congratulations, Watts, on your first pole and race victory with Gavra. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to cut it over to our race 1 winner, and for what has seemed like a long time coming, Jos in the Ferrari taking his first race win in Tier 1. Jos, how does it feel to finally get that race?
Yeah, indeed, finally, no, it feels good. Yeah, knew that that was possible. Put in a lot of practice, and here we are.
I think everyone's really chuffed for you because you have been so quick this season. You now lead the championship. You're 18 points clear in the championship from ex-Natty G, who's also in the lobby with us. Do you think you can take the title now?
Oof. Yeah, we're now halfway through the season, so still 2 rounds and 4 races to go. So let's see how Spa goes, see if I can extend a bit. And then, yeah, maybe why not? Because Ben and Psycho didn't have a great weekend. Why not?
Shortbread, any questions for Joss before I've got my last one?
Well, sort of like that question just answered that. There's a huge swing from, I find like 4th, 3rd, something like that in the championship. Now you're leading by a good amount of points. So I'd say you got a good chance. You got a good chance.
Perfect. I think so as well. Let's don't bottle it at Spa, and then let's see.
My final question for you, Joss, before we let you go is, what is your thoughts on Belgium? Is it a good track for you?
Yeah, I come from Belgium.
Yeah.
I live, yeah, exactly. I live, I think, 15 minutes away from the track. Did not do a lot of practice yet on this game, but I really enjoyed it on Project Cars back in 2018 it was.
Yeah.
And also on F1 22. So let's see if how it goes and try to set some pace and hopefully take another win or at least the podium.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hopefully you can do the home crowd, the local crowd proud, Jos. But congratulations on your first win today and now the championship lead.
Thanks, Jack. Thank you also for commentating every week. Really enjoy it. And also the shortbread, of course.
Thank you very much, Josh.
Cheers, mate.
I appreciate it. So we're going to go over to the man who's probably as surprised, well, probably more surprised than anybody to be second in the championship. We're going to cut over to ex-Natty G, who had 2 podiums today, 2 second places. Natty, this has been a turn up for the books for you, hasn't it?
Definitely wasn't expecting a double podium or to be second in the championship. I only found that out a couple of minutes ago through the stream, but it's a very good result. I think it's P2 and P3 or something. And to be fighting for the title, I don't know, it's come across my mind a little bit now, but I think, like I said last week, top 5 is still my goal for the end of the season.
Yeah, I do know we're discussing that because I think you've had 4 podiums in a row now. You know, last week Qatar you had a 3rd and a 2nd. You've got 2 2nd places now for the most recent events we've just done around Austria. What are you? I mean, you know, I know your target's top 5, but are you going to start thinking about the championship a little bit more if it goes well at Belgium? Do you think?
Yeah, I think I'll just have to take each race as they come. I might have to start taking out a couple of the leaders to guarantee at the top step in the championship. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how Belgium goes. And then I think the closer we get to Vegas, if I'm still 2nd in the championship by then yeah, maybe I'll consider it a little bit more. But you know, I'm just trying to keep it clean, keep my wing clean. The car pointing in a straight line each race, even if it means I finish 5th, 6th or 7th till the end of the season, and just capitalise on where the faster guys and the leaders start making mistakes and getting caught up in one another. So I think that's the race plan going forward, not taking any too unnecessary risks here and there, no dive bombs, nothing unnecessary basically until Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have one more question for you, but as always I'll go to Shortbread first.
Yeah, just not much of a question, but I think that call you did to come in early undercutting that race 2 when you were in that DRS train, we were saying in the commentary box, and that was the perfect call coming in earlier, then get out of the way of that DRS train, then you gained, I don't know how many positions, but definitely positive for your race.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago now actually, when I won my first race in Gav at Austria. I won it by pitting a lap earlier than the race leader, which effectively got me out ahead, and I just stayed ahead for the rest of the race. So I was thinking I don't want to pit on lap 8 because that's when other guys might start thinking about the undercut. So like pit in lap 7, do 2 laps on those mediums, burn through the ERS and just try and gain as many positions as I can, and then try and keep up at the end of the race, which unfortunately I couldn't. The mediums just went off so quickly towards the end. Yeah, thankfully a couple of time penalties got me back in it. So yeah, I think a good strategy on Michael, and maybe something I'll try again at Spa. It's a long lap at Spa, so I think it could work just as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Natty. My last question for you is, how intense was it? You know, in terms of the race victory, you were involved in both race victory fights this evening. How close? How intense was it for you? How did you find it?
I think the first one was a little bit more relaxed than the second, to be honest.
Okay.
I remember, I think I was in 3rd place at the start, and then I looked behind and no one was there. There was like a 10-second gap to the car behind, so I didn't know what happened in the first race. That kind of relaxed things a lot in that race, because I had myself, my teammate, and obviously the Ferrari, so I was trying to work with one winner to try and get the win, whether it was him, whether it was myself, try and score some good points in the championship. Second one was a little bit more intense. Obviously, I think there was like 8-9 cars trying to share the same bit of tarmac in the first half of that race before the first pit stops. And I think when I came when everyone else came out of the pits, after I'd undercut, we were like 3 wide going towards turn 4. So it was definitely a lot more to concentrate a lot more in that second race to try and gain a couple of positions. I had a lot more cars around me. I didn't want to, like I said earlier, I didn't want to lose my wing, that fault for someone else losing their wing. I'd have much rather sat back in 6th, 7th place, not get a time penalty, not get a penalty by the stewards later, than go for a silly move or just lose concentration and then get a pointless penalty. So yeah, definitely the second race was a lot more stressful.
Oh, I can imagine it was almost a breath of we went round there, to be honest. But for yourself, Natty, double podium for you tonight. Good movements in the championship. I know you're not thinking about it, but you're in it with a shout. Put it that way. Let's play it down like you do. We'll go with that. But well done tonight. Congratulations. So we'll run it over then to our last interviewee. He's always happy to chat. It's the Steps. And we're gonna have a chat with him. You looked really competitive in race 2, Steps. Tell us how it went from your perspective.
Yes, hello again, Jag and Shortbread, and just the second race. Okay, yeah, it just went well for me. I qualified 7th, which was way higher than I expected, and I put together my strategy to favor Ben for obvious reasons. But yeah, I went on medium. Surprisingly, I was able to keep up with all the soft runners in front of me, which was mind blowing for me. And yeah, I managed to keep it on the road without penalties within the white lines. And right after Ben pitted and I pitted, I suddenly found a lot more pace on the soft tires. And again, I gained, I think, 2 or 3 places at the end. So yeah, amazing. It was really amazing.
Yeah, it was a really good fight. We saw you fighting with Money Game to get yourself further up the field in that second race. But in terms of, you know, you've made some good progress so far this season. You've been really fighting hard. What did you make of the battles on circuit today in race 1 and race 2?
Well, race 1, I basically didn't fight anybody, but
Yeah.
the race 2, I mean, it's clean, it's fun, it's enjoyable.
Hmm.
The guys here are really fast, are really clean, and it's always fun racing with these guys. So yeah, I don't know what to say. You know, I always say the same exact thing. It's fun, it's clean, it's amazing, and I look always forward to the next week.
Well, I have a feeling you know what I'm going to ask you for my question,
Yeah.
but
Yes, I do.
we'll let Shortbread ask a question, or he can snatch that one from me. His choice.
I don't really have a question, but yeah, I completely agree with you saying, Steps, mate, about how good it is. And like, I have missed doing some races now, and I've only missed 1 season now, so I know what you mean. Though, it is good fun, but yeah, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Well, I'm going to ask you that question then. Next week, Belgium. How are you feeling about it?
Spa is really different for me because it's like the jack of all trades track.
Mm.
There's long straights, there's fast corners, there's slow parts of the track. So I never really can decide which strategy I want to take. Do I want to go for top speed or do I want to go for more wing? And yeah, it's really like yeah, it's difficult for me, but yeah, it's another track. I can change the track, sadly, and I just need to get prepared and I hopefully have fun there.
Yeah, absolutely, Steps. Thank you for joining us again. I'm sure we'll have another chat with you after the 4 races we'll have at Belgium next week. But well done, good pace again once again tonight.
The pleasure is mine, and thank you. See you later.
See you later. So that is it then for the interviews this evening. Chaos, a lot of frenetic action all around the Spielberg circuit at the Red Bull Ring. But we crowned 2 winners tonight, 2 Tier 1 winners for the first time in the form of Joss and Watts. And now Joss has a championship lead of 18 points to take with him to his home circuit of Spa-Francorchamps next week for Tier 1. That's when we'll be back, of course, for Tier 2 and Tier 1 in Belgium. So if you want to catch up with any news in the meantime, do check out Gavra Racing's website, its Discord, and do get involved in the community, a lovely place to be. And as the Steps always says, it's a happy, wonderful, clean racing environment that you who are watching can get involved in as well. But I've been joined, of course, by Shortbread tonight, and I'm Jack TM53, your commentator for Tier 1 alongside Shortbread naturally. And wherever you might be in the big wide world, have a good one. See you next week.